What a long, strange trip it's been. Since many of us are going to be spending more time apart from each other than we normally do, I have a few ideas on what might help with all the downtime. First of all, if you have a young person in your household, they're probably still in need of some schooling because chances are they're supposed to still be in school. Luckily, Scholastic has 20 days worth of free learning and at-home resources for younglings between kindergarten and 9th grade. As you can see on the link on the screen, and I will put that link down in the description below as well. These courses are very helpful. These learning resources are very helpful. Please take advantage of them. The constant education is important, which is why we've organized our school years into large blocks of time. If you have some downtime, and for that downtime, our friends over at Mouse Savers, which is a wonderful website, has curated a bunch of links for free Disney-related activities. Now, obviously, these were oriented around going on vacation, but they've recently updated them. In fact, I think the last update was March 13th. They're great things to do. They have Disney-related freebies. They have art. They have activities. They even have a couple of things that I highly recommend through Khan Academy. One of them is Imagineering in a Box. That's fantastic. And also they have Pixar in a Box, which is also wonderful. Now that website, when things are different, is a great resource for coupon codes and discounts for tickets, hotels, and other things. And largely focused on, believe it or not, Disney World. They have a lot of resources for folks trying to do that on a budget. So, a little shameless self-promotion here. I feel like I'm a Disney Parks guru, so when it comes to visiting the parks, you can certainly hit me up on Twitter or in the comments below to talk about upcoming visits, attraction information, and even some history. I know quite a bit for various reasons, so don't hesitate to do that. If you're staying at home with younglings, of course, be sure to establish and maintain a routine. It's incredibly important. This is the key to keeping that same regimented feel that they have when they're at school. So follow the rough pattern that was established for them at school, that daily schedule of events. Make sure you divide up your day by various subject matter if you are going to go ahead and try to do some learning at home. I strongly encourage that. You want to take a break once or twice a day for playtime. That's really important. If your child is young enough, put the brain builders out in front of them rather than the battery-operated toys. So things that engage their creativity and learning skills. I know it seems simple, but those simpler toys are actually better in these circumstances. Limit their screen time during the day, during the normal scheduled activities, because in school they're not having the access to the phones and the tablets for the purposes of playing games and things like that. So orient yourself around that idea. While maintaining social distancing is obviously the important thing here, you still need to get outdoors in some form or fashion. So do they. So work in those outdoor activities. This will help with mental health for both you and the younglings. It also reinforces the circadian rhythm that will help improve everyone's sleep, especially yours. So some outside time of some sort is highly encouraged. Now, normally when we take younglings to the park or outside to play, they interact with others. Let's see if we can limit that as well. That's another reason why you need to be present with them in these activities, is so you can kind of keep your distance and help the other people keep their distance as well. Finally, Your school district or municipality may have provided some information about Google Classroom. Google Classroom is a really cool tool that can work with you to distance learn. A lot of school districts have distance learning. Please utilize that. That is 100% there to make sure that we don't get behind, that we keep up. And it's definitely something to explore. If your school district hasn't provided those resources, you can find resources through Google for sure. While we all ride this out, we need to be sure not to live in fear around our younglings. So first of all, there's not a lot to be afraid of. Take very good care of yourself, practice good hygiene, and you probably are going to be okay unless you're an at-risk person. The younglings do not need your fear. They don't need your concern. They need to be they need to know what's happening, but they do not need to be afraid of it, and just reinforce that concept with them. Use the time that you're taking right now to bond with your younglings, no matter what your relationship is with them, and learn together. Believe it or not, you will learn something from some of these lessons, especially as you get closer to the high school, middle school ages. There's some stuff that you may need a refresher on, who knows. So while I did say that limiting screen time during the day was important, it's really just during the school day. So there's no reason not to go and do some gaming with your younglings, who will probably whoop you. So pick up your device and lose like a pro. And obviously, if you have puzzles, use them. They're great development tools. Also, card games. They teach reasoning, logic, mathematics, probability, stuff like that. Board games are fantastic way to spend time. Again, there's a lot of analytical skills on a lot of board games, especially the more complicated ones. I'm about to dive into Cthulhu Must Die. But anyway, the last real thought that I want to leave you with, aside from the various mumbo jumbo that I'll talk about afterwards, is that the real instructions for proper hand washing are important. So be sure to use warm water if you can. Soap the entire surface of your hand, including the webbing of your fingers. If you have long nails, you cannot ignore your fingertips, so soap underneath your nails as best you can. I mean, surgeons actually take almost a vegetable brush, a scrubbing brush, to the underside of their fingernails, but you don't usually have to get that crazy with it. But make sure you rinse your hands in the warm water as well. Dry your hands thoroughly. If you're doing this often, use some kind of vitamin E fortified lotion if you have it. Any kind of lotion would be better than none, however. So, and do that as often as is reasonable. Don't overdo it, obviously, but do that as often as is reasonable after activities, especially where you've compromised your hygiene. So. Obviously, this is a great time to support your creators here on YouTube. So spend a few moments with your favorites. Obviously, spend some time here too. And, try not to get caught up in the hysteria that's surrounding this, because it's overblown in a way that is unproductive and is actually not just on the surface, but in real terms is starting to cause some damage through its unintended consequences. So let's avoid panicking, please. Also, if you have your own suggestions or locations for activities or education, please post it below. I think that is a key for us to all share what we have and know and have learned about. And I've included some links, obviously, in this description of everything that we've talked about here, which is only a handful of things. But thanks for spending a few moments here today with us. I appreciate your time. We will all get through this. Stay safe, stay informed, and stay sane. Really important. Have a great day wherever you are. And remember, at Culture Casino, when the house wins, we all win.